Alright, full list of OP-06 is out. We've talked about the red, now we're going to talk about the green. Also, I'm using a crudely translated version of the website to go over the effects, but if there's any discrepancy, I will refer to the Discord. Shout out to the translators of the Discord. So let's go, let's jump into green. I'm really excited about this. So starting with Hodi Jones, we've already talked about the leaders. If you want to see more, you can take a look at that video, but yeah, Hodi Jones, interesting. But now let's talk about the other green cards, because there's a lot. Oh, of course, Perona, number 1, waifu, for sure, and really powerful leader. I'm excited to test out Perona, man, but let's later on. And of course, Yamato, a lot of green-based decks, green-based leaders, 3 of them are green-based. So that's very... Alright, so first of all, we got our good old friend Aaron, Arlong, 4 cost 6,000 power. And on play, you may discard 1 card from your hand. Up to 1 of your opponent's vested leaders may not attack until the end of their next turn. Trigger rests up to 1 of your opponent's cost 4 or lower characters. So that's actually really quite good in my opinion. First of all, you are discarding 1 card from your hand, so you are netting a loss right there. But if this is a great counter to Yamato maybe, or even leaders that require you to attack, Sakazuki requires the leader to attack to -1 something, so that's something that you can lock down. Maybe there's a deck out there, like green deck, where you can lock down the leader, multiple Arlongs in a row, and then you got your 10 cost Dofi, lock down everything. Maybe it's a lock deck. That would be really cool. Okay, but the KO ability as well. Sorry, the trigger ability is to rest something that's 4 or less. Yeah, pretty decent. Not sure how Arlong's gonna be super played. I wish he was he had a super rare boss monster type, but they gave it to Hodi Jones this set. It's fine. I think it's decent. Gotta wait and see if people actually use this a lot, because it's a big ask. You gotta discard a card from your hand, you gotta play this guy, and then your opponent's leader has to be rested. Pretty cool, I mean, at least. So next is Icarus Muchi. 5 cost 6,000 power with counter 1,000. On play, if your leader has the new Fishman Pirates trait, play up to 1 character card with the Fishman Pirates trait with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. Just play out for free, and then add the top card of your life to your hand. So it's a way to kind of play out multiple characters on the field with just 1 card. And if you're using it with of course Hodi Jones, you can prevent that adding of life to your hand with Hodi Jones effect, but just resting the leader. So that's actually really quite good combination with this. So I think that's the whole shtick for the new Fisherman Pirates. You have powerful abilities like that, with your leader preventing you from adding life to your hand. So with this card, there's a lot of 4 cost characters that we're gonna take a look. First of all, Arlong is one of them, and yeah, there's other Fishman Pirate type cards or Fishman, not pirates, Fishman Pirate, just Fishman, that could be really good. So we'll take a look at them later. But with this, you're expanding the board a little bit, so that's really good. Next we got Cammy. 1 cost 2,000 power with counter 1,000. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with the characteristic of Fishman or Mermaid other than Cammy and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order that you like. This is a searcher for Fishman or Mermaid. Hopefully, imagine if we got Shirahoshi leader that's a mermaid type. We got Kokoro up there, that just would be really cool. But now the Fishman Pirates or Fishman type deck has a dedicated searcher in Cammy, so that's really good. Makes it a more potentially viable deck now. Arlong could be pretty good. Green, yellow Arlong could be a leader, or Hodi Jones could be a leader for that. That's good. Next we got Koshiro. 3 cost 0 power with counter 1,000. On play, activate up to 1 character with a slash attribute with a cost of 4 less. After that, you cannot attack the leader during this turn. So essentially, you're restanding a character slash attribute character 4 less, which the ST12 Zoro, the rare, the 4 cost 6,000 power, is a great target for that. But you cannot attack the leader during this turn. Which why you're gonna put that clause? It's gonna be. I get it if you remove that last line, this is probably going to be a rare or something, but it'll make it so good. You can have multiple attacks with Zoro into the leader. But other than that, you can use this as a form to attack into your opponent's characters again and again, to get rid of them, probably. Yeah, I just don't like that last stipulation of you cannot attack the leader during this turn. But, you know, you can attack with Zoro into the opponent's characters, restand with your leader, the blue, green Sanji Zoro leader, and then play this for another additional attack into a character. Something like that. Don't think this is going to be played as much, unfortunately. It's a 3 cost. If it's a 1 cost, I get it. But it's kind of expensive for a effect that may be a little bit lackluster. That's my opinion on it. And then you got Jiro or Yiro, 1 cost 2000 power with counter 1000. On KO, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost of 3 or less. These decent. I mean, there are other cards. Perona does it on its own innate leader ability. This is on KO. Maybe there's other cards that would benefit from, you can KO this, KO rest something, and then maybe do a loop. Green black Perona with Gecko Moria or something. I don't know, but potentially, I mean, like this, but it doesn't have the Thriller Bug Pirate, so maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. I don't see this card being good at all. So let's move on to Zio. 2 cost 3000 power with counter 2000. So this is your dedicated 2000 counter. Alright, so I got the translation. I'm going to put it on screen as well. So Dawn 1, when attacking, if your leader has the new Fishman Pirates type set up to one of your Dawn as active, and this character gains 1000 power for this turn, then add the top card of your life to your hand. Counter 2000. That's a lot of hoops to jump through to set up one of your Dawn as active and to give it only 1000 power. So I don't think it's that great of an effect, but it's a 2k counter that Fishman Pirates can use, and it's searchable with Kami. So that's the only upside for this. Moving on. Okay, so next is Dharma or Daruma. 3 cost 4000 power, counter 1000. So you can see the effect is not really completed over here, just a translation error, but I have it on my phone. So Dawn 1, when attacking once per turn, if your leader has the new Fishman Pirates, activate restand this character, and this character gets 1000 power during this turn. Then add the top card of your life to your hand. So seeing if this translation is correct means you can restand after you attack. If your leader is new Fisherman Pirates or Hodi Jones, then it restands itself. You get 1000 power for this turn, and then you can add the top card of your life to your hand. With Hodi Jones, you can prevent that from happening, but that's kind of powerful because first of all, the first attack will be 5k, and then you activate the ability, restand it, and then the next attack will be 6000, right? So if that is correct, then this will be really good. I think it's a great 3 cost 4k card, an early game card that you can play, be aggressive with, and then you don't have to attack with your leader. You can rest it so that you don't have to take life from this card's effect. Yeah, I think this card is good in the Hodi Jones, and this will probably be the staple for that deck itself. Alright, the effects are back. Okay, first we got third. 3 cost 4000 power with counter 1000, Fishman and new Fishman Pirates. When attacking, if your leader has the characteristics of new Fishman Pirates, this character cannot be KO'd in battle and have 2000 power until the start of your next turn. Then add the top card of your life to your hand. So I think I'm seeing now the pattern of Hodi Jones. Hodi Jones just sit back and relax and lets his Fishman crew do all the dirty work for him. But essentially you are giving really powerful, okay, now I get it, it's like a doping effect, right? It's like the Fishman, the magic pill that they took to kind of become strong. When attacking, they took the pill and then they get additional power. Taking the pill means like you add the top card of your life to your hand, which Hodi Jones does prevent, so that's really good. The fact that you can't be KO'd in battle and have 2000 power makes it 6k. You don't need to put Dawns on this guy. Kind of decent, I would say. It's a really good effect for an early game, like being very aggressive. And even if you don't use Hodi Jones effect, you can use that to add more cards to your hand via your life. So it makes like the battle against like yellow with like 10 cost Big Mom kind of irrelevant because you want to be losing life anyway. And that's a good way to kind of circumvent that. So this card, yeah, I can see a little Hodi Jones type deck kind of forming with the Searcher, with all these 3 cost 4000 cards with powerful effects. You gotta be worried about the crackback though, because you are not that strong of a base power because you only have 4k. But yeah, I mean, like if it dies, then you can kind of just play out more cheap stuff. So that's a good point for that. Next, we got Hachan. 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter 1,000. Important, Fishman and former Arlong crew. That's good. 4 cost, 5,000 with no ability, but it does have a trigger ability of play up to 1 character card from your hand with the Fishman or Mermaid characteristic with a cost of 3 or less. So essentially, you can trigger Hachan and then you can play out a Kami to search. That's kind of nice. If not, you can play out all the other stuff like these guys for free from your hand. Either way, it's a 4 cost 5,000 vanilla, so I can see a certain number of copies of this card. You have the plus 2k Hachan as well from the previous sets. Great artwork though. I mean, the takoyaki and all, very, very cool. Next we got Hamon. 2 cost 2,000 power, counter 1,000 and has blocker. So that's your run-of-the-mill 2 cost 2k blocker. So that's great. Then we got Vanderdecken. 2 cost 2,000 power with counter 1,000. And on play, you can discard 1 card with the Fishman traits from your hand. Or you can put up 1 Noah's Ark, which we will see later. It's a stage card from your hand or field into the trash. Up to one of... KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters. Okay, yeah, now I remember the effect. When I first saw this being revealed, people on Twitter were talking about it. I thought this was a really powerful card because it does not care what cost the character is or what power level the rested character is. So as long as you just discard a Fishman or Noah's Ark from your hand or from the field into the trash, meaning like if you play the stage card already, play this guy, you can literally KO anything on the field. Sure, it's like a 2 card KOing 1 card thing, but you can use this in combination with like Perona as a leader to rest something, and then you just play this out, discard a card, and then KO that particular character. So I think there's potential in Vanderdecken for sure as a really solid removal for green based decks. So yeah, I like this card. I really like this card a lot. Next we got Leopard Elephant, 4 cost 6,000 power with activate main once per turn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost of 4 or less, and then this character gets plus 1,000 power during this turn, then add the top card of your life to your hand. So once again, another really powerful card for Fishman, for the Fishman archetype, being able to rest something and then attack into it. And then also preventing something to preventing your life being taken with Hodi Jones' ability. Yeah, so you have a 7,000 power attacker for 4 costs and attacking into a character. Or you can just vest a blocker, attack to opponent leader as well. So yeah, really, really powerful stuff. I like this card. Maybe, Fishman kind of looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how strong it is synergic, like in the overall metagame with like all of the 9 cost Kaidos, all the Sakazukis floating around, but it's a deck that's worth trying, I think, if you really like all the Hodi Jones and the Fishman Pirates, the new Fishman Pirates. Speaking of Hodi Jones, 7 cost, 8,000 power. Alright, so Hodi Jones' ability is he has Rush. So on play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters and or Dawn. Then put the top card of your life into your hand. So first of all, it's a rush. Like you can just drop it down, attacking for 8k. So green has a kind of aggressive attacker in the form of Hodi Jones. So you're probably your top end or your boss monster for the Hodi Jones leader, provided you're not playing like a 10 cost Dofi or something. And the ability to rest a total of 2 of your opponent's characters, meaning 2 blockers. It's good against black. And the option to kind of shut down green purple Dofi as well, because you can rest their 2 Dons, so prevent them from using any of their counters. Versatile. Versatility is the key for Hodi Jones, and I quite like this Hodi Jones as well. I think people will kind of mess around with this super rare for sure. Just being able to have rush and attack aggressively, I like that. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Next we got Ryuma. 4 cost 6,000 power on play, and when KO'd, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less that's rested. We already talked about this. This is like perfect in Perona. You can bring it back with something like Gecko Moria. You can KO it with Oris in black. Oh my god, the Thriller Bug deck is gonna be really, really sick. It's gonna require a lot of like sequencing and brain power. but it's gonna be so sweet, man. This card is really powerful, just straight up really powerful. Yeah, nothing more I can say about it except that it's strong. Next, we got Wadatsumi, 6 cost 8,000 power with counter 1,000. This is your 6 cost 8,000 vanilla. That's great. Next, we got like, okay, there. This is a proper name for it. Yeah, 3,000, 1,000 world or 1 million. I don't know. Essentially, it's the card depicting the time when Zoro cut Pika in half. It's a 1 cost event card with give your counter, give up to one of your leader or characters plus 2,000 power during this battle. After that, if you have 8 or more cards in your field that's rested, the card gets an additional plus 2k counter for the duration of the battle. So it is a Radical Beam or an L-Tor for green. Finally, green gets a 1 cost plus 4k, but it is very, very situational on the fact that you need to have 8 or more cards that's rest. In the late game, you are going to have like 8 or more. Like, it counts Dawns. I believe it counts Dawns as well. If not, this is going to be like a stupid effect. But yeah, so as long as you're in late game, you got 10 Dawns, you leave 2 Dawns up, you fulfill the Radical Beam condition already because you have 8 rested Dawns. So I like that. And the trigger ability is also really quite decent. KO up to one of your opponent's characters, or KO up to one character with cost of 3 or less that's on your opponent's side of the field that's rested. Good for getting rid of some of the early attackers like Paraspero, Rush Zoro. So yeah, versatility wise, this is really, really quite good. You will be aiming to play this in the late game to get its full effect, but still, I'm glad green finally has a 1 cost plus 4k, which means technically now every color has a 1 cost plus 4k counter. Purple already had one in ST, like the starter deck, but yeah, finally green gets something. That's good. Yeah, you can't even get over bottom. Yeah, I know the line for this. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's a 4 cost event card with main. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost of 6 or less, or KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less that's rested on your opponent's side of the field. This is pretty decent. I think like yeah, if you can just rest something that's 6 cost with Perona, you can with black you can reduce cost of something, and then this is just a straight removal, and you also have the added benefit of it having trigger, activate this card's main effect. So I feel like some people will mess around with this card, sneak some copies into the decks that people play. For sure, I like this card. Great card. And yeah, let's move on to Yabu Shark, 2 cost event card. Main, KO up to one of your KO up to 2 characters with a cost of 3 or less on your opponent's side of the field that's rested, and the trigger is activate this card's main effect. So you can, you know, like Bandai really just said like, hey, screw you, red green law. I don't need. You can use this to kind of KO something because it's 3 or less. That's actually really quite good because Zoro is 3 costs, and then you can get rid of a searcher if it's rested. I mean, no red green law player is gonna leave the stuff rested on the side of the field, but you have stuff that can rest in green, so that's really good. Yeah, Bushak. I think people will, if the meta game calls for it. Right now, Sakazuki is really, really powerful, so a lot of players are playing Sakazuki. But if the kind of meta game diverges back into that small character type thing, Zoro's making a comeback as well, then yeah, Bushak will be a really good addition to those decks trying to counter that effect. So there you go. And the last card for green is Noah's Ark. Shout out to YT Noah channel. 6 cost event card. On play, rest all your opponent's characters. And the trigger ability is, yeah, play this card for free, essentially. So just imagine your opponent's going for game. You have 1 card in your life left, and they have like 5 characters ready to go. They attack you, you take it. It's a Noah's Ark. You rest all of them. You save the day. Of course, you got to deal with the leader somehow. Maybe they attack the leader first. I don't know. They won't. But yeah, this is a really great card. And of course, you can use it in combination with Vanderdecken that we talked about earlier. Once everything's rested, you play Vanderdecken, you can KO this Noah's Ark and then like just KO anything in the world with that effect. So yeah, I like this card. I'm not sure how many people are going to be playing this this Noah's Ark, but like it's a 6 cost stage or slash, like potentially could be an event because it's only a 1-time effect, but I like it. I'm glad Noah's Ark got a stage card and a really powerful effect like that. So I'm excited to see if people actually make use of Noah's Ark in like potential future decks for green. Alright, so green also has a secret rare in the form of Varanora Zoro. If you want to see me talk in depth about these, this secret rare and the Sanji secret rare, I have a video on it talking about it already. But just to kind of briefly go over it, 9 cost, 9,000 power. When attacking, once per turn you may pay 1 and restand this character. Activate main, once per turn you may pay 2 Dawn and restand this character. So it's a great way to like attack 3 times. It's like Ashura, you know, Zoro can attack 3 times. Attack once, restand it, attack another time, and then activate main, restand it, attack again. Powerful card. I can't wait to see people mess around with this Zoro, man. This is like the boss monsters of boss monsters. Love it. Dies to 10 cost Shanks though. Anyway, yeah, that's it for green. Yeah, that's it for all the green cards. We're gonna jump into a blue next, so sit back, relax, and just enjoy me talking about these cards. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.